Hello everyone, welcome to the very first video of APFC. Hi, my name is AP, the founder of APFC. For those of you who have never heard of APFC, APFC is an online educational company with one aim in mind. It is to educate the public with personal finance education in the most systematic and entertaining manner. You can go to our Facebook page APFC for our introductory video and feel free to view our website www.myapfc.com for more details. Since this is the very first video, we are going to start with something much simpler and comprehensive. So in this video, we are going to talk about Robert Kiyosaki. For those of you who never heard of this name, Robert Kiyosaki is the author of the top-selling book on personal finance, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It has been sold more than 32 million copies all around the world. In his book, he has two dads, a rich dad and a poor dad. You may think that his mother remarried. Even I thought that before I read the book. But the real case is this. He has one biological father, or also known as his poor dad. He has a PhD, but he is always struggling for money. Since Robert was young, his dad taught him to study hard in school, get good grades, so he can get a good job and live a good life. But one thing little Robert didn't understand is that why his dad had a PhD, but they are still worrying about money. They're constantly worrying about the car payment, the mortgage, and the bills to be paid. His dad had high income, but they're still worrying. Robert didn't want to be like his dad when he grew up, but he never know how. On the other hand, he has another dad, his rich dad. Well, not his dad, but his best friend's dad. But he taught little Robert all about money, which changed his life more than his biological father. Just like the fairy godmother changed Cinderella's life, so you can think of him as his fairy godfather. In his book, he is trying to teach people what his rich dad taught him. But it's impossible to explain everything in one single video. So in this video, we are going to talk about the most important concept, the three classes of people. According to Robert Kiyosaki, the society can be categorized into three classes: the rich, the poor, and the middle class, who are not poor but they are not rich either. So what is the difference between these classes of people? In the book, Robert Kiyosaki says the key difference of these three classes is their spending habit. He didn't mention income, because no matter how much you earn, you can still be poor. We'll look into that later on. Let's talk about the poor category. Most of the people who fall into this category, normally they have relatively low income compared to the middle class and the rich. Due to their low income, they have limited money for their living expenses. Hence, they cannot afford extra stuff and they cannot save for the future, and they cannot accumulate wealth. However, there are some people with good enough income but they are still considered poor. Why? Remember I said that being poor has nothing to do with income. What I mean is they prefer to spend their hard-earned money on materialistic stuff instead of saving it. Some of their income cannot afford a house, so they go for something more affordable, like smartphone, branded clothes, fine dining, entertainment. Normally, this group of people, they look good on the outside, but they are broke in their bank accounts. It's not that entertainment, gadgets, and clothing are bad. It's good to have something for yourself once in a while, but we must remember not to overdo it until we're stuck in the poor category. Why are they stuck in the poor category? Because they spend money on things that cannot store financial value. One thing has no financial value if it cannot be sold for money when needed. Either the value depreciates rapidly, or they have no value at all, or it is just something that nobody else wants. So to escape the poor category, people realize the importance of saving and accumulate assets. But the most common problem is that people cannot differentiate assets from liabilities. Here's an example. Imagine Sam is a 30-year-old man with a family and a very nice job. One day he decided to buy a nice house for his family to stay in. He bought the house at 500,000 ringgit and he has to pay 2,000 every month. But soon he realized he is tied up to his job because of this house. The boss is bad. His salary stays there for 2 years and his job is boring. But he cannot stop working because of the mortgage. After 30 years of mortgage payment, finally he finished off his house payment. The house value has increased from 500,000 to 800,000, more than 60% increase since he bought the house. Now he's considered rich, right? But the problem is that he cannot spend his 800,000 because it is stuck in the house. The second problem is that the house cannot generate any income for him. Let's say the 800,000 is in the bank. With 3% yearly return, we have 24,000 every year. This means we can spend 2,000 every month. This is the key difference of buying asset and liability. Most people thought they are buying asset, but actually they are buying liabilities. According to Robert Kiyosaki, asset gives you money and liability takes away your money. If these two terms confuse you, I would prefer the terms productive asset and unproductive asset. Generally, our own car and own house are the biggest unproductive asset in our lives. We have put away a lot of money every month for years for these two things. Let's go back to the Sam's case. Yes, we have no doubt that Sam owns a house now. 800,000 of value in the house, but the 800,000 is stuck in the house until they sell it. Unlike investment and business, the house won't generate any passive income no matter how much money is inside. That house is an unproductive asset because it has caused Sam to pay for it for 30 years without generating any income for him. That house only preserves Sam's wealth for the next generation. But Sam is not alone. Our parents did this. We are taught to do this in the future. Even Robert Kiyosaki's poor dad do this as well. But Robert is lucky enough to have a rich dad who teach him to accumulate productive assets. And this is exactly what the rich do. Normally the rich do not have a job because they have passive income. And passive income is generated from productive assets. So to be like the rich, we have to spend like the rich. So what we can do right now is to minimize our expenses on unproductive assets. Don't always go for the best car and the biggest house. If we can learn to minimize our expenses, we can have more money to accumulate productive assets. And sooner or later, we will be the rich. But to be like the rich, I would recommend you to read the book yourself. There is a lot more information that I cannot explain in the video here. This book is definitely the best book for beginners in personal finance. But after I finished the book, I realized something is missed out, and it is my responsibility to tell everyone what they should know. So in the next video, I will be revealing some important points that supplement the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. If you find this video useful, share it on your wall with your friends. Great news have to be shared. At the end of this video, thank you all for finishing this video. Please follow our Facebook page and share this video with your friends. Goodbye.